Hi, my name's Alex, and I'm going to give you an update on what I've been doing today and yesterday in relation to building the 1000x leads funnel by Matt Larsen based on his free content online. Today I've been doing, and yesterday I've been doing FAQs, and I thought it'd be a useful video if I show you my process for doing the FAQs, and you might be able to then get inspiration for doing it for yourself, building out this funnel. It's a very interesting process. First, why? Matt Larsen says, thank you, Matt Larsen. Matt Larsen says that by answering FAQs about your product or service, you can create the best content strategy. So you think of every objection and every question that someone might have about the product or service before they buy, and you then answer those every single day on your social media, on your blogs, the videos that you make. I really recommend this video and the other ones on this particular bit of the funnel by Matt Larsen. The links will be in the description. All of this is based on his content, so I owe everything to him, basically. Thank you. This is the way that I've interpreted this. What I'm trying to, and this is from his words that I'm interpreting this. What I'm trying to do here is build a logical process for coming up with great content strategies. This involves correctly identifying and analyzing ideal customers' desire. So who are you talking to and what do they want? Plotting out every obstacle in a lobster order. Plotting out every obstacle that you identify in a logical order. Some things are more important than others. And if you have a service, you don't want to be spending 90% of the initial attention that you've got from a user. You don't want to spend it on something like, what's your policy for cleaning the floorboards? Unless that's very important. But do you see what I mean? There's a priority order. But you need to plot out everything. And then lastly, overcoming every objection with FAQs and lead magnets. So the reason you want to do this before you start building out your ads or your website really, or any of your pages, is because these FAQs and these obstacles shape every other area of this funnel, which in a way is why it's not specifically written on there in Matt's video, I guess, is because it's the basis. So I'm going to go through it now. And in a classic way, I don't want to show my funnel that I'm working on. So I'm actually just going to double the work that I'm doing so that I can demonstrate this for you. So I'm going to do it for something else. I'm going to do it for a man with a van that wants to do home removals. So home moves, relocations. Let's get into it. The tools you're going to need: ChatGPT or any other model like Claude, just any model that can spit out answers to what you're saying based on what you're putting in. Spreadsheets, simple. And you're going to need your brain because we're going to need to focus for a little bit. So we're already 3 minutes into the video. Let's get into the process. My name is Alex North Rule, and I'm going to show you these FAQ process. This is the way that I do it. Matt's also got his way. They're all good. So hide this. I'm just in ChatGPT now. You can use the free version. I just absolutely love paying them £20 a month for this interface that I can use. So, hello. Today we are going to be building a content strategy. Please don't plan way ahead. Please stick to the section we are dealing with. So I like to give it some context for the project that we're doing. So I take this screenshot. I'm going to put this spreadsheet in the description as well, the link to this, so you can copy this as well. So I just let that paste in. I'm just going to read it. Picture is what we are working on. let's first get the ideal client sorted. We are building, let's tell it what we're building. So we're building a content structure for this man with a van for his house removals. Content structure for man with van who does home removals. Put yourself in the mind of the customer. Please list from start to finish every step involved. So the reason you want to get every step involved, please watch this on 2x speed if you can, just because I'm not going to edit this, I'm just putting it out there, so just do 2x speed. You want to do, put yourself in the mind of the customer, please list from start to finish every step involved, because if in the context you've got the actual journey that the customer goes on, you're going to have different objections for each stage of that. So if I'm looking for a house removal, I have to first have the thought, I need to move houses. Where do I look? So I need to answer things like where to find the best people to do house removals. And then I also need to answer, do I need to pack my boxes before you arrive? So that's when they've already chosen. And that's why some of these objections are more important than others, because for you as the man with a van to answer, how do you find the best man with a van? That's way further at the top of your funnel. So you don't really need to concentrate on those ones. But eventually, if you run out of things to talk about, maybe you do want to answer them. And with ChatGPT, it is easy to answer how to find the best man in the van. You list out, Facebook Marketplace, ads. Anyway, I digress. Put yourself in the mind of the customer. Please list from start to finish every step involved with organizing me as the customer of the man with van, packing up my stuff, booking, moving, breaking, etc. I just like to give anything that I can think of for man with van. So if I'm moving a house, I've got to pack things, buying boxes, who supplies, insurance, safety, timings. You got to take it somewhere, so distances. Maybe you want to do multi-stop. Do they just drop it on the sidewalk? Sidewalk, drop. What about houses if you're up in flats? Up in flats. Okay, and now what we don't want it to do is spit out big chunks of paragraphs. We just want bullet point lists. Just bullet point lists, please. I will take these prompts and I will tidy them up and I will put them as slides in I'll put them here. What's these stages that we do? I'll tidy the prompts up and I'll put them as extra slides in here for you watching this. Just bullet point lists, please, with subheadings. The reason we want to do subheadings, and while that's loading for you, I'm going to copy this here and I will tidy them up. New slide. Let's give it a key. Prompt 1. Okay, and then we'll move on to prompt 2. Someone told me that it's not actually worth your time correcting spelling mistakes because it just gets jumbled in the context of it. I like talking politely to it, but okay. So what have we got here? Identifying customer needs, initial research, contact and booking, contacting the service for a quote. Yep. Okay. Preparation before the move, packing supplies. Yep. Packing process, sorting items by room. True. I don't know about that. You want to write on the boxes, living room. So you could, we're going to do the lead magnets in a minute, right? But these are all things that will feed into the lead magnets. So something as a man in van, you could offer someone on a house move. You say, hey, I've written a checklist of things you need, things people always forget when they move house. So we can write that lead magnet in a bit. Okay, you know what? I might actually build this funnel. This is the public funnel that I will build. Okay, so what we need to do now is get it to split these into sections, and you don't want to overload it. So if I just copy and paste this and say, give me 10 FAQs for each one of these, it's going to get lost. It can handle it, but sometimes it will freeze, and then we'll lose the momentum. So we're actually going to break these down. I like all of these, and now we're going to get it to give it to us in a table, because we don't want to faff around. So this is where you come and you do your spreadsheet, and we're going to have the topic area up here. So you see it's given us initial research. That's going to be our topic areas. Okay. And these are just going to go. So I'm not going to type the whole thing. I'm going to get ChatGPT to do that in a second. So initial research, right? So let's give it. Each of the FAQs are then going to be below it. So let's take this. We'll get it going, and then it will flow through. So great. This would be the time that you would go through now and think of anything else you wanted to add, and paste the list back in and say, also, please think about this. But for speed of this video, I'm not going to do that. Great. So I take this first one, and you would do this with your list as well. Great. Please, for each section, give me a list of very detailed FAQs. The reason you want very detailed is you don't want short tail keywords, which can be, you will answer those obviously, but you're never going to rank really against huge competition in organic search for the really short keywords. It's very competitive, but the longer tail, so the more detailed questions that someone might ask you in a customer support chat, or on the phone with you, those kind of questions, those are the ones that we want to answer. They will give us a much broader net of content that we've got out there, and also more interesting for people to read. No one is going to read every one of the 500 FAQs that you write, but people are going to read bits of it, and different people will pick it up. Please give me a list of very detailed FAQs, not basic FAQs, but kind that a customer would ask in customer chat or on the telephone. Don't answer them, please, but give them to me table with the following headings. So we've got section, subsection, FAQ, info needed to answer. You'll see why we want to do info needed to answer in a second. But basically, when we're going out to clients and saying, I can build these FAQs for you, you're going to need specific information from that client. And so if you want to automate this process down the line and have a form that you can give to the same type of client and say, please give me this information. Once you've got that information, you know that you can answer all 1,000 FAQs, and you just pass that information against every FAQ. It answers it in a legitimate and accurate way. Everyone is happy, and you don't, for each one, then have to go out and keep going back and forth with the client and say, oh, excuse me, can I just have this extra bit of information? Info needed to answer. Let's make that short. Please make info needed to Please make info needed to answer brief. So I accidentally didn't copy and paste that in. We'll see what it comes back with. It's going to give us some. You can then take each section. Well, actually, this is good for the video. It's going to give me some back. You can then take this process and go even more detailed. So you could take the section like this. You could take this section, and instead of saying, give me a list of detailed FAQs, you ask it to give you 50. And for each of those, you then multiply it yourself and go through them. Because that's another thing you're going to have to do, is go through them, because you don't want to be answering just weird questions. Okay, while that's analyzing, I am going to bring this over to our slides. This is, oops, new slide. What do we write there? Initial prompt 2. I'm going to tidy this up later. Initial prompt 2. Have we got an answer? Just going to double check. Here we go. Oh, it's so good. How can you not like that for 20 quid a month? Do you offer disposal services for unwanted items? Classic question that someone would ask a man with van. Can you accommodate multi-stop moves? Yes, I can. Oh, it's so good. I absolutely love this tool. Okay, let's copy these. Download table. It's probably going to give me a CSV. Let's expand this. Cool. Thank you. Wow, that's a great new feature of ChatGPT, to give me the table in here. Let's tell it. Imagine in the future when they become extremely sentient almost, and they look back through your entire chat history in a millisecond with every AI that you've ever talked to, and you weren't polite, you asked it the weird questions. Okay, so we got our table now. Nope, that didn't copy. Good. Can I copy it here? I want to copy. Sorry for the sloppy production value. Okay. If someone knows why that's not working, let's escape this. Download. File, import. Dip. Am I up here? Hello, I'm back in the room. Pen to current sheet. You definitely want to be watching this on 2x speed. Okay, delete. View. Nice trick for you when you're going down is you can freeze rows. Go to view, freeze one row, and that means when you scroll down to look through everything, you still got it. So the reason I do it like this is because I want to use a program like make.com in a minute. In a future video, maybe I'll show you. But I want to create a workflow where when I upload a spreadsheet like this, it goes through row by row and starts to answer the question based on another form that I filled in. So I'm building out automations and workflows to build this funnel. So each step that I'm doing, I'm also trying to think, okay, I don't want to have to repeatedly do this, but I want to build a lot of these. So how can I stop repeating myself, basically? So here we go. This is for your FAQ process, right? So now we have a list of FAQs. What Matt's talking about doing is then using all of these in your social media. So for example, on day 1, you would post 5 tweets for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, identifying customer needs. And then it's similar, so that if it shows it to certain people in the morning, it's more likely to show them the next one because it's similar and they've seen something similar. If you post identifying customer needs and moving day, for example, it's different. So you take these FAQs that you make and you will take each section and build out more and more and more and just keep asking your model that you're using to make more and more FAQs. The information that you need is going to be here. So you can put those into a more useful structure so that when you build your customer onboarding form and you say, this is the information I need from you, you then know that you've got all the information for the FAQs you're building. Let's now talk about lead magnets, right? Just because planning them out now while the FAQs are fresh in your mind is something I've found that's helping me with the other funnel that I'm building. So lead magnets are this section of Matt Larsen's funnel, which is where you're directing all your paid ads to, all your content to. And he says spend a good amount of time on them. You need to plan these. And the lead magnets are going to be based on your FAQs, right? So let's back out of this chat here. Come back. I want to minimize it. I love that new feature. Okay, great. Please explain to me what a lead magnet. This is called context farming, I think it is. I want it to pull from the infinite thing that it's got. I want some context of what a lead magnet is. Because I'm going to copy that and ask it to then think of the lead magnets based on those FAQs. Valuable, relevant, accessible. Boom. I mean, come on. If you need a marketing strategy, here you go. Just make these. Thank you, ChatGPT. Okay, that's enough. Thank you. Right. Copy this. Paste that in. Give it some space. Based on the FAQ list that you made. In fact, I might even paste that in as well. Let's see if it can handle that. Oh no, I don't want to post all of those in. See if it can handle this. So they've got a big context window now. Based on the FAQs that you made, please come up with 12 lead mag. And here's where my process goes a little bit different. Have you heard of Alex Hormozy? He has a value equation, right? And this is a really, really good value equation. This is what he says all sales are based on. Okay. So I like to give this to ChatGPT. I have also Hormozy, so that will be out there on the web. I hope it's after. I've also included a picture of Alex Hormozy's value equation. Please consider this when you are making lead magnet titles. I'm not going to put this prompt in here in this form. I'll trim that down after the video. Because we're already at 23 minutes. Damn, okay. Ultimate home removal checklist. Didn't I say that one before? Expert tips for packing fragile items safely. Okay, fantastic. Packing supplies. It's perfect, isn't it, really? What more do you need to get someone's email as a removal company? Once they see your ads, once they see your YouTube channel where you're saying what the best practice for labeling your moving boxes. Me going on there thinking, I'm going to lose stuff. It's going to get broken. And I see someone, how to pack your boxes so that your items don't get broken on a move. And then they come down into your YouTube description and you've got best practices for labeling your moving boxes. I mean, it's dry, but these are people that have got a problem. And you're the one saying, I've got the answer to the problem. I just think this Matt Larsen funnel is so good. And everyone should be building with it. This is his funnel. This is his channel. All the links will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Alex Northrall. I hope you had a good time. Bye.